This is for the person who is strong but still struggling. The one who shows up for everyone else but doesn't always have someone to show up for them. The one who smiles in public and cries in private. Hi, I'm LaShanta Loffridge, and I know what it feels like to carry so much and still keep going. To be everything for everybody else and still feel like something is missing. But here's what I've learned. You can be strong and still be healing. This podcast is a space for real conversations about life, about growth, about the things we don't always say out loud. We're talking about healing, self-love, purpose, navigating life's challenges, and becoming whole, one step at a time. My story may not be your exact story, but if you've ever felt tired, overwhelmed, or unsure, you're not alone. This is your space. This is your reminder that you don't have to stay broken. Do you want to be made whole? Follow, listen, grow, heal. Tune in to this next episode. Hey fam, welcome back to the Do You Want to Be Made Whole podcast. My episode today is going to be very transparent. I do not mind being personal and sharing my story because my story can help someone just as someone else's story has helped me. So today I'm going to be talking about the cost of healing, my road to hysterectomy and after. Just talking about the surgery, I'm talking about the physical, emotional, and financial cost of healing. Even as a degree professional, an educator here in the state of Texas, a woman who works, provides, and shows up, I find myself asking a very real question. How much does life cost? Because healing is expensive. When I found out that I had to have my surgery, according to my insurance, I have a PPO plan that requires a $4,000 deductible to be met and a $7,000 co-insurance maximum payment. My insurance plan is 90/10. So the patient responsibility for this surgery was $6,115 that I was required to pay up front before we could proceed with anything. So I was able to have the surgery with making a payment arrangement. In education, once your days are gone, they're gone. You get 10 days each school year, 5 local days, 5 state days. I exhausted all of my days during the fall semester of 2025. Took FMLA because this whole thing started with me having episodes with iron deficiency anemia, where I would have dizzy spells, feel lightheaded, didn't have much energy, and I had to remain home under doctor's care. So my salary was impacted. I eventually went back to work intermittently as I was preparing to have the hysterectomy. And now that I've had the surgery, 6 more weeks have gone unpaid. Bills are still due. Insurance is still due. And life is still happening. Now, before I had the surgery, I did what many people do, but don't always talk about. Hustling every day. We are out here hustling, trying to figure out how to make ends meet. I did what I could, contracted, leaning on the generosity of loved ones, and still it wasn't enough. And this was before I had the surgery, because since I've had the surgery, I haven't been able to do much of anything but stay home and heal. And y'all, this isn't irresponsibility. This is reality. And here's what I need to say. I did not ask for iron deficiency anemia. And although I had the heavy menstrual cycles, it was something that I learned to manage. I was still functioning, and it was somewhat bearable until it wasn't. Until my levels dropped so low that my body could no longer keep up with the life I was trying to live. I did not ask to be a female and have a uterus. And I say that with honesty, because with that comes many things people don't fully understand. At 44 years old, I had to stop saying I'm just tired. I was living with iron deficiency anemia. For years, I normalized extreme fatigue, brain fog, shortness of breath, heavy cycles that drained me, chewing ice every day, all day, every day. Everybody that knows me know that I need my full cup of ice over and over again throughout the day. I even have different versions of ice that I love from different places. But even though all of these things were going on with me, I still had to show up as an educator, a mother, and a strong woman. But behind that strength, I was exhausted. Eating cups of ice wasn't a habit, it was a warning. It was my body crying out for help. My labs told the truth. My hemoglobin level dropped all the way down to an 8. I was 1 point away from needing a blood transfusion. My iron was 28. Iron saturation, 7%. My ferritin was 15. Vitamin D was a 10. And my blood pressure got up to 200 over 127 a week and a half before the surgery, and that landed me in the ER. My anxiety was on a million. I was trying to figure out how I was going to do this, how I was going to do that. Not only was I iron deficient, but I found out that I was also vitamin D deficient. I was just a walking, talking, deficient human being. During this journey, I've been reflecting on something deeper. Because as women, we are expected to be beautiful, be present, available, submissive, nurturing, resourceful, problem solvers, be a chef, a seamstress, professionals, family representatives, child bearers, and the list goes on and on and on. And we're expected to carry all of that well, with no flaws. And yet, some of us are silently dealing with fibroids, cancer, tumors, hormonal imbalances, heavy cycles, pain. While I was recovering from my surgery, just in this short amount of time, I have learned that I have 3 loved ones that are currently battling fibroids, cancer, and tumors. So this is not rare. This is not uncommon. This is happening. And still, we're expected to keep going, show up, smile, and function. You know, it would be really great if the world truly considered what it feels like to be a woman, literally and figuratively. I decided to take my life back. I have heard so many hysterectomy stories from amazing women who overcame. Now I'm one of them. And because of that, I can't do nothing but give God all the glory and the praise. On the day that I had my surgery, I felt so much gratitude because I had to ask for help to have the surgery. So everyone that prayed for me, everyone that donated to my cause, everyone that showed up for me meant more to me than you will ever know. And now that I'm on the other side, recovering, resting, reflecting, and rebuilding, I can finally say, I thank God I feel so much better. I have more energy, more clarity, and strength. But this journey that I have been on has changed me. Now, I know what it feels like to need help and not find it, to be strong and struggling, to be made to be responsible, but you're overwhelmed. So now I'm building something bigger. I'm building the Do You Want to Be Made Whole community. This is a place where people can find support, resources, guidance, and hope. Because I know what it feels like to hit rock bottom. And I don't want people to rebuild alone. As I've been healing, resting, and reflecting, God has given me something deeper. This is bigger than my story. This is about becoming a resource. In my quest to become a resource for people connected to me, people who are silently struggling, people who need help and don't know where to go, I've been given a vision. The Do You Want to Be Made Whole community, it's not just a name, it's a place, a movement, a support system, because healing is not just physical. People need help in real, everyday ways. There are people who need financial literacy, understanding money, managing it, rebuilding after loss. people who need job skills, those that need to learn how to type, how to build a resume, how to prepare for interviews, how to walk into opportunity with confidence. Students who need guidance, whether it's college, trade school, or simply preparing for life after graduation. There are people battling addictions to drugs, alcohol, trying to find their way back to themselves. There are families who are struggling to make ends meet, needing support with housing, needing help with building their credit, trying to create stability. There are parents raising children with disabilities who need resources and guidance and someone to walk alongside them. People who need mental health support because life has been heavy and they've been carrying it alone. This vision is for real people with real needs because I've lived it. I've experienced the financial hardship, the mental strain, professional challenges, moments where I needed help and I could not find it. And I said, if I ever make it through this, I want to be that help for someone else. So now I'm building step by step with faith, with intention, with purpose, and I'm not meant to do this alone. I'm actively seeking partnerships with people, organizations, communities, professionals who are willing to come together to help build something that truly serves others. I'm working on a proper documentation and structure to organize this foundation the right way because this is not something temporary that I plan on doing. This is something that will be here, and this is going to be my legacy. And I am so excited about it, y'all. I have to be honest because I know this vision didn't come from me. It came from God. And if He gave it to me, then that means it's going to happen. If you're listening to this and your body feels off, please don't ignore it. Go to the doctor. Get your labs checked. Advocate for yourself. And if life feels heavy, if healing feels expensive, if you're tired but still trying, hear me clearly. You are not alone. And I declare this over my life and yours. We shall live and not die. If this message spoke to you, stay connected with me. You can follow me on Facebook or Instagram and YouTube at LaShanda M. Loffridge. This Do You Want to Be Made Whole podcast and my website, www.lashandamloffridge.com. Currently, I'm seeking workshops, conferences, speaking engagements, community partnerships, because this journey is not about me anymore. It's about helping others become whole. Stay tuned for next week's message to roll out phase 1 of the Do You Want to Be Made Whole Community Center. I love y'all. My people, thank you for tuning in to the Do You Want to Be Made Whole podcast. Remember this, your story is not over. Your pain has purpose, and your healing is possible. Before you go, I want you to take a deep breath and remind yourself you're still here, and that means there's still purpose on your life. Healing does not happen overnight, but every step you take matters. This is your safe space to grow, reflect, and to become whole. If nobody told you today, you are strong, you are chosen, and you are capable of becoming everything God has called you to be. Don't let your past define you. Let it refine you. Now go out, walk in your purpose, and choose your healing every single day. This is LaShanda M. Loffridge, the host of Do You Want to Be Made Whole, the podcast. I'll see you next episode.